What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about not necessarily irrelevant handguns, but just some handguns that are still great options. They're affordable, reliable, and not a lot of people talk about them anymore. A lot of new releases push other things to the side, or because a firearm didn't sell so well, people automatically assume that the firearm's no good, or that it's a piece of junk, whatever the case may be. Literally, if your favorite gun tuber has not reviewed it, people won't buy it. It's sort of a sad world we're living in. But anyways, we're going to get into some awesome options out there that I have found absolutely great. Some are newer, some are older. But in my mind, people are pushing them off to the side and sort of writing them off as being junk or trash. Now, if I do mention a discontinued firearm, just because it's discontinued doesn't mean you can't find it. Someone made some comments on my video saying, why are you trying to push discontinued firearms? Stupid move. Well, it's because those firearms still exist in this world, and they're great. That's it. It's not that big of a deal. I cover stuff that a lot of other gun tubers don't cover. That's the point of this channel. I'm not trying to copy every single one else. If you don't like the channel, get off of it. This is what we do over here. Let's get into it. First one is not necessarily an old release, but it's a firearm that has been overshadowed by stuff like the X Macro, the Hellcat Pro, the Glock 43X, and today we're talking about the Glock 48. Obviously, we're getting into all those as well. But the Glock 48 has really surprised me. It was honestly the last range trip I went. Actually 2 range trips ago, I shot someone's Glock 48, right? They actually had 2 with them. They had one with an Apex, and I think the other one was just a Johnny Glock's trigger. And usually I like the 43X better because I like smaller firearms that are easier to conceal, more comfortable with. But the 48 that day literally just shot flawlessly. No dots, no optics, no special sights. Literally just a stock Glock 48 with an upgraded Apex trigger. Now, obviously, you don't need the Apex trigger, but with that Apex trigger, guys, I'm telling you, this is one of the best self-defense, concealed carry handguns in the world. You're getting great velocity, speed, foot-pound energy out of a 4-inch barrel. It's still very thin and concealable. Now, it's a little bit more uncomfortable for me to carry, but I will be carrying this with my own holster once we make a holster for it. That is my goal. I would like to be able to carry some stuff that's a little bit bigger, such as the Glock 48. But this thing is smooth, reliable as can be, and just an easy handgun to shoot. And honestly, I think it's better than the 43X. And I always used to say the opposite. But that was just ever since my last range trip. Great gun. Next up, Glock 43. Still an awesome handgun, still in production, but a lot of people have gone away from it. A reason why I have a lot of Glock 43s is they're light, they're small, they're nice for backups, backup backpacks. You can find them used for like $300 nowadays. Glock 43s were the pinnacle of the single stack world or the defensive world for a long time, as well as the shield. There's nothing wrong with those handguns if they run. Trust me, this 6+1, or in this case 7+1 with mag guts, 8 rounds, you're going to be fine, guys. Love the Glock 43. Next up, we're going to talk about the XD series, right? So over here I have 3 XDs. I just picked up these 2 recently. I picked up this one for this one for $275 and this one for $325. So between these 2 handguns, I got 2 of them for $600. Now this is the subcompact mod 2, the Grip Zone. People always make fun of that, but honestly, that's one of the things I love about the handgun. Not the writing, because that's poor marketing, but actually how it feels. They're not lying. They're advertising how good this handgun feels in your hand. But because the world is full of idiots, they see this and they won't even touch that handgun. But bought it used, look how clean this thing still looks. Clean as can be, fiber optic sights, reliable, and one of the flattest shooting series of handguns ever to grace this world. Same with this 45. Go watch me mag dump this thing. I mean, I had a little trigger freeze at like round 7 or something like that, but I mag dumped 10 rounds of 45 in 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds, whatever it was. Self-defense, you will be just fine doing that. These things are accurate with no recoil. And on top of that, I really like the XD series, as this was my first handgun, and this is what taught me to carry with a round in the chamber and get comfortable and stuff like that. They are a great series of pistols, especially for beginners. And you can find them used all over the place. Next up is the subcompact line by Smith & Wesson. You do not hear many. You hear a lot of people talk about the 26, the 27, the 33, the CZ P10S, but you rarely hear Smith & Wesson brought into the subcompact battle because they have the Shield Plus, which is a phenomenal handgun, right? But for people who like a little less recoil, a little bit thicker handgun to fill the hand a little better, and just a smooth shooting Smith & Wesson, these are the way to go. They have less recoil than the 26s, less recoil than the 27s. In this case, this would be equivalent to your 27. Now, these were actually police backup 40s, right? These were their subcompacts, even though they were called the compacts back then. You can find these all over the internet for like 300 bucks. And they just run, and they barely have any use. I mean, this is one of my flattest shooting 40s, and I just love this handgun. The subcompact lines from Smith & Wesson are criminally underrated. I'm telling you guys. And if you don't like the curved trigger or the hinge trigger, swap it out for an Apex. Next up, definitely a newer handgun, the FN Reflex. People are still on the X Macro, the Hellcat, P365, Glock 43X, Glock 19, P320, CZ Shadow, but the FN Reflex has been left out. And why is that? A lot of people say theirs shoots low left. A lot of people are having issues with their sights. Mine isn't. Mine isn't having problems. Mine runs flawlessly, and this is probably my most accurate micro compact. And we're over 3,000 rounds with it. Not a single hiccup. Now, it looks like crap, but that's just regular wear and tear. It is what it is. I recommend getting the black version, just because this FDE wears off really easily, and sort of just looks... You know, maybe I got to give it a nice cleaning, but a lot of those marks and marring are actually there. But the FN Reflex is the flattest shooting micro 9, flatter than the P365. Has great capacity, great texturing, a rail. It is the best of both worlds. Awesome night sights, hammer fired. I mean, it's just a beautiful handgun all around. But because it was so late to the game, I don't think it got the attention it deserved. Next up is the whole Stoeger series. I still don't get why people talk down on Stoeger. When I make a video about Stoeger, they make good handguns. They make great shotguns, but they also make good handguns. And they are tied in with, you know, Benelli and Beretta, just Beretta. They're tied in heavily with Beretta. I believe they're made in the same exact on the exact same machine, stuff like that. So that is what I've heard. They have strong ties to Beretta, and this handgun right here is one malfunction through almost 2,000 rounds. It was one failure to feed at about 550 rounds. You can see the shooting review up on the channel and that malfunction. But ergonomics are on point. What I love about it is, even though it's so thin and small, it takes all the magazines from the larger ones. Now, this right here, the subcompact, also takes the larger mags as well. Both of these handguns I've seen for as low as, this one right here was as low as 350. I got this as low as 230 on some websites. Absolutely unbelievable. And this is the subcompact. It has one less round than the micro compact. Ergonomics are on point. This is basically a cheap Glock 26 clone that runs. Stainless steel guide rod. The finish isn't that great, but overall it feels good in the hand and it runs. Not a single issue with this. The Stoeger series is 100% criminally overrated. But don't worry, guys. They'll make it there eventually. Lots of people are catching on with how good they are. Next up, Walther PPS M2. Now, this is a single stack, and I get that. But it also is just a great handgun. Now, we would all go out and buy the M3. If they dropped the stack and a half version, 10 rounds this size, just a little thicker on the grip, we're all going to buy it. And it's going to be the best. But until then, this is what we're left. And that constantly is in the back of people's heads. Capacity or a handgun I love and trust. It's always like, okay, I have 7+1 with mag guts. That's what that little gold dot is. 8 rounds. But do I want to move up to like a Shield Plus that's 10+1, extra 2 rounds? Even though I've had my PPS for 4 years, never a single issue, do I want to upgrade? And that's the dilemma a lot of people are stuck with this giant capacity battle. The PPS M2 is about as solid as it comes, but I actually just lost mine. This is now my wife's. She actually chose the Walther PPS M2 after shooting it last time over the Glock 43. So she is no longer carrying her Glock 43. CZ-P10M, discontinued. You can find them on the internet all over still. No slide stop, 100% snag free, a CZ pistol designed for pocket carry. Now, it's not the smallest, it's not a mouse gun, it's not like an LCP or a Diamondback, but it is small enough to pocket carry in a lot of pants, a lot of shorts. But it's just a CZ for under $300. That's just ridiculous. And I get, once again, we're at the conversation about capacity, 7+1. But if you buy this for $250, 7+1, this is a beater. This is a pocket carry. This is a backup. You can carry it as your main. I've carried it as my main. But for a lot of people, they're going to complain about the capacity and stuff like that. But overall, you can't overlook the quality and what you're getting for the price. You just can't beat that. We're going to get to all those in a second. Next up, HK P2000 SK. I would say if there's one handgun in my whole entire collection that would outlast and outperform every other handgun in terms of reliability and part breakages, it's going to be this right here. The HK P2000 SK. I swear this thing was built to last forever. I swear this thing was built to put tens and tens and tens of thousands of rounds of 40 through it, and it's still going to look at me like, keep going. That's exactly how I feel about this thing. It isn't my most ergonomic gun. It's not my best shooting handgun because the trigger throws me off a little bit. It is a double action, single action with the decocker, but I'm just not used to triggers like this as I carry mainly Glocks and Smiths and FNs, but it is an awesome, awesome handgun. Now, reliability-wise, you will never have to worry with this product right here. And if you do, the odds of getting a lemon from HK are pretty ridiculous. But this thing, I get it's dated and stuff like that, but 9+1 out of 40, but it shoots the 40 like a 9. I'll take the power over a couple extra rounds any day of the week because your first shots are what really matter in a defensive situation, right? Next up is a new pickup, but everyone who has shot this loves it. The FNS 9C. Beautiful, beautiful subcompact from FN. It takes the FN 509 15-round mags, and it takes the 17-round mags that it comes with for its larger brother. I don't know how anyone overlooks this handgun. I don't know how it's discontinued. I get the 509's a little more modern, updated, has more features, but the fact that I walked out of any gun store for $325 is absolutely ridiculous. This handgun should never be on the shelves for $325. Absolutely love this thing. You can find them all over the internet. Ergonomics are on point. I actually really like this handgun. The trigger's even better, but it's just how it shoots. It's not the best trigger. It's not the best firearm I own, but I shoot it like it is one of my best guns. And one of the handguns I've handled the most, even though I haven't. Absolutely love the FNS 9C. And like I said, you can find them all over the internet. Just do your research. Next up, I had to throw it in the Glock 26. You guys already know why. One of the most reliable, self-defense oriented handguns ever made. The Glock 19, the 17, more duty oriented, stuff like that. Glock 26 concealed carry backup oriented. Absolutely love it. Can take up to a 33 round OEM mag from Glock. Has every holster, every sight picture, every magazine size you could ever imagine in a smooth shooting, reliable handgun. I bought this, a remanufactured Glock 26, for $400. You can find them used for $350, $325. If you find a Glock 26 for $350, you better walk out that store with it, because this will last you a lifetime. Next up are the shields, and I'm not necessarily saying the Shield Pluses because obviously everyone's talking about the Shield Pluses. I'm talking about the everyday, regular, older shields, the 2.0s, the 1.0s. Now, I walked out of my local store with this right here used. I'm the only one who put scratches on it. Yes, I did that to my site, but this was $225. I put the receipt up in the video. It's up on the channel. Absolutely love it. Just added some night sights to it. Yes, it's 7+1. It's limited, but for $225, I can beat the crap out of it. Take it fishing, take it in the woods, use it as a backup, whatever the case may be, and I don't care what happens to it. They're still reliable handguns, and they were the pinnacle at one point. And just because they're 2-3 rounds off of the Shield Plus doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and buy it, even though I do recommend the Shield Plus. The Performance Center in 40 is one of their greatest handguns ever made. I don't care what anyone says. This shoots like a 380. Go watch the video on my channel right now. If you want a 40, a nice size carry pistol, you may live in a mag-restricted state, get the Performance Center in 40. There is no flatter shooting 40 in the world. This shoots better than my Glock 23, shoots better than my M&P 40C, and it's a single stack. Can fit in your pocket some days. It's an awesome, awesome handgun. Now, probably one of the most ignored handguns that I love the most is the Mossberg MC2C. Now, I've had some issues with mine. Every single person I know that has one has ran flawlessly. When I just let my buddy shoot it the other day at the range, he said the recoil is unbelievable. That was one of his favorite things about it, is how well it handled recoil for the size. 11+1, Micro 9 from Mossberg. Now, obviously, they're a shotgun company, but they have dipped their toes into the self-defense concealed carry market with 3 different models. First model had some issues, but it ran pretty decent for your first pistol. These ones have been great. Mine, I've had issues with, but ever since I got my new striker, 100% flawless. Love this thing. Great, great, cheap, affordable setup. Comes in at about $425. Next up, Kimber Mako R7. Everyone overlooks this handgun because it says Kimber. This is a complete different design from all their 1911s and every other model they have. Completely different. And you know what's funny about that? It's the one model that I've seen just great reviews on. And it's the one model that I actually love from Kimber and that runs reliably. I love this thing. It's a great handgun. Do I carry it the most? No, I don't. I already have a carry rotation that I love and it's perfect. But if I didn't have some of those options, could this make it in there? Potentially. I could see this fitting in a lot of people's lives, the way it fits your hand, the texturing, the shootability, the trigger. Is it my favorite Micro 9? Of course not. But it is a great shooting handgun, and it's been 100% flawless for me, so I can't even complain or talk down on it. Trust me, I want to talk down on it, but I just can't. XDM Elite from Springfield Armory. I've seen these for $375. That's criminal. How do you let this go for $375? This is one of my most reliable handguns that I own. Just like my other subcompact Springfields, never a single hiccup, and these are the guns that I own that have ridiculous round counts through them. Not a single problem. Awesome flat face trigger. This is one of my home defense firearms. Absolutely love it. Takes a 35 round mag from Springfield. Absolutely love it. And it runs flawlessly. This thing being a little bit on the heavier side, I would never carry, but I know a lot of people who do. They also have this in 10mm, 45, and 40. I like the 9mm version, but I heard the 10mm is unbelievable, so eventually I'll get to that. But the fact that you see these for $350, $375 nowadays is just ridiculous. I bought this one, it was like $550, and I'm still happy that I paid that for it. It's a great handgun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.